The GameOverGreggy show is brought to you by the OWC DIY PlayStation 4 hard drive upgrade kit, available now at MacSales.com. Now that Christmas is over, you have one thing left to do. Install all those new video games you received as gifts on your PlayStation 4. But with games taking up to 50 gigabytes of storage space, your drive can fill up fast. If you need more storage on your system, quadruple the storage space on your PS4 with the OWC DIY PlayStation 4 hard drive upgrade kit, not gride. That's not a word. Right, Cool Greg? Not a word. With the OWC kits included, 2 terabyte hard drive and all the tools needed for installation and to transfer your data, you'll be able to spend less time managing game data and more time actually playing video games. The kit includes an enclosure so you can reuse the PS4's original hard drive as an external drive. There's even an instructional video to guide you step by step through the installation. Visit MacSales.com/PS4 and step up your game with the OWC DIY PlayStation 4 hard drive upgrade kit. Nick.
Yes.
What's your topic?
Spice Girls. I don't know a lot about the Spice Girls, but
wait, your topic Spice Girls, and you lead with I don't know much about Spice Girls.
Well, let me preface. So it came up on the show this morning. Tim and I were doing Internet Explorers, which happens sometimes on Colin Moriarty Live, and someone brought up the Spice Girls, and we started talking about the Spice Girls, and I was like, this was a phenomenon.
Yeah, they were.
This was a fucking cultural moment that I totally missed out on.
They were a worldwide phenomenon.
To try to name the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
So he goes. Ginger Spice.
Yep, that's nailed. Thank you.
Sugar Spice. I'm like, nope.
We're off track already.
Let me see if I can name them now.
Everything
It's
nice.
Ginger Spice, Posh Spice, which is Victoria Beckham, right?
Yes.
Baby Spice,
Yeah.
the blonde,
Right.
Okay. Sporty Spice,
Yep.
which is the
Other brunette.
and then Scary Spice.
Yeah.
Is that right? Mel
Nailed
B.
it.
Mel B. Okay.
Yeah, Mel B. Who had a PlayStation 3 game, Mel B's Fitness.
Really?
Yeah.
Not easy trophies. I tried.
Also had sex
Wow.
with Eddie Murphy.
Had sex
She
with
did.
Eddie
She
Murphy.
has a kid with Eddie Murphy, I think, doesn't she?
And
Yeah.
a child with Eddie Murphy.
Good for her.
So this was a whole moment that I couldn't tell you.
How did you miss this?
But I mean, I remember the song. I'll tell you what I want,
Remember
whatever
the
I
song.
want. You tell me what. I don't remember any of the songs they did. I don't remember them
Spice
being
of your
that.
life. To become one.
When to
Stop.
become one.
To become one is the
I
fucking
need
jam.
some
Like to this day,
love,
when I
need
do
some
make a baby, it's gonna be to that song.
A Baby Spice?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Why?
Have a little love.
I don't see. I don't even know what
Now
song you're
back
singing.
for more when
This
I
is
make
ridiculous.
love to you, baby. Set your spirits free. Is the only way to be.
All right. Thank you.
To become one, man.
That's the
It's
Spice Girls topic.
It's the fucking jam. It's so good.
Now, the layer of what I want you to do with the song we just sang about fucking and becoming one is imagine little Greg getting driven around by his mom playing this CD. This wasn't age appropriate, Jamie Kennedy. Why was this happening while you drove me around?
Jamie Kennedy's
And
song.
can I get a time on the Spice Girls? Can I get it?
it must have been like 1997
It's
to
gotta be
8.
90, mid 90s.
say
Yeah,
98.
mid to late
97,
90s.
maybe 97. Was
I got Big Kev.
I was in
I got
second
it.
grade.
Okay.
Because that's my thing. It was inappropriate for you. It was real inappropriate for me.
Right.
Like that shit was bad. Especially like for the girls in my class. Like Gia, I was talking to her earlier about it. And just like, yeah, she was like, this is the first time I was listening to music that I found.
94.
94.
Well, that's when they formed. That was in Europe and shit. Yeah. But
Give me their discography. I want to know when that Spice Girls.
96 and 98 is what I said in the
Yeah, okay.
thing.
There's the break.
But
I'm 13. I don't need to be
Gia
weird
was
about
saying
it.
that it was the first time she brought music into her family. Everything else had been growing up to that point was like, oh, she listened to what her parents listened to. And this was the first time she was like, oh, can I listen to Spice Girls? And then just imagine her grandpa having to listen to Spice Up Your Life and all the freaking shit they got.
Spice up your life. Spice up your life. Wow, yeah, there's
But see, this is the thing. Like, this is a huge
never heard those
cultural
songs.
thing, right? And then
Where were you?
I mean, I remember the Spice Girls. I remember them. I remember it being a thing. And then I just as quickly as they came, they were gone. Right? How does that happen? Why does that happen? Like, they were
I'll
just,
tell you how it happens.
What happened?
No, I don't know.
How quickly?
Well,
because they all wanted to do their own
what
thing.
happened, there was the movie Spice World.
Yeah.
That was too late.
Starring Roger
Was
Moore.
that too late?
Yeah, that felt like one that as the phenomenon was happening, they're like, make a movie. And by the
Really?
time the movie got out, I remember
Oh.
I was over it. I wasn't going to go see
Oh my
Spice
God,
World.
Spice World was my life. Spice World was everything in my.
Aren't they, at the end, are there
second
aliens
grade
or some
class.
shit?
It was fucking fantastic. But the reason that the movie means something to me is it taught me the word knickers. means like underwear in
hot underwear. There.
British
in British speak.
Like
Because I
naughty
remember
underwear.
they at some point jacked the tour bus, like one of those London tour buses,
Double-deckers,
and they're
yeah.
driving it around. She's like, "Hold on to your knickers, girls," and like that was the moment that I realized, like, I like girls underwear. Like this is a whole
It made
thing
you think
for
it.
me.
Here's how it
It's
works.
what I realised, a thing for knickers.
Here's how it went in Tim's brain. It was like going inward toward like into a dark tunnel, right? Where it started bright, and then he went into the pelvis, then underneath the skirt, then into the knickers, and then what's behind the knickers?
Yeah.
That's where you're. And then just you found your way out. There's a smell to it.
Everything about that was great, but yeah, like "Wannabe," the music video for "Wannabe,"
Yeah.
like that was fantastic.
And that's the one I'm thinking that if you want to, there
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Because like that was the one like shot, right? The one thing.
Yep, in the house. It looked
And
very
they got
similar
the
to
street.
Backstreet Boys' "Everybody" video.
Sure, but this
there
was
were girls
girls.
and they were
This
more
was
fun.
girls that you could masturbate to. I
Yes,
remember doing
exactly.
this.
Well-
I remember being excited about this.
Did you
Don't
masturbate?
act like you
Spice
couldn't
Up
masturbate to the Backstreet Boys.
I'll still masturbate to the fucking Backstreet Boys. Was Nick Lachey in the Backstreet Boys?
No, it was 98 Degrees.
Which one was Nick? Who? Aaron Carter?
Aaron Carter's older brother, Nick Carter.
Nick Carter was
yes.
in the Backstreet Boys, right? If Nick Carter had a sex video, I would masturbate to it, like a sex tape. I would.
Like,
Why not?
Who's he having sex with, though?
Yeah.
One of the other Backstreet Boys. I don't give a fuck. Does it matter?
You sick son of a bitch. That's incest.
Well, fuck. Pamela Anderson?
I remember
Reverse sex
the
tape.
movie came out,
Yeah.
and then there was the hit PS1 game.
Girl power.
That Curran's older sister bought for him as a joke, going back to shitty gifts. Except they were the fucking best gifts, because that game let you remix music, but it was a PS1 game, so it wasn't that deep. So I just took "Wannabe" and the "Zig Zig Ah," and I just went to town with that. It was so much "Zig Zig Ah," I just kept going and going.
Wait,
and
but how
going.
old were you when this was happening? You must have been like 10.
Yeah, less than that even.
You're 94, or 95.
well, it
How
was
old are you,
second-
95?
When I was in second grade was when the craze hit the peak.
Okay.
Like around it for us at least. Like the movie was coming out around then, and the key thing that I'm sure everyone in the comments is already screaming at us is those goddamn lollipops. You take the lollipops, had the wrappers with the collectible. It was like card games. This was like pre-Pokemon, Pokemon cards,
Okay.
where you collected the wrappers of the lollipops. So you'd buy these things. They were like $2,
Mm-hmm.
and inside the wrapper there was like different pictures and shit. It was like a collectible thing, and there was like 100 of them or whatever. So then you would trade these wrappers, but they're fucking wrappers for candy, so they're sticky and nasty as shit.
Right.
It was a disaster, but I had them all.
Well, I guess this makes sense, though, because you would have been in 96. How old were you? So you figure they reached the height of their popularity around 96.
7.
Right, 96, 97. You must have been,
I was 13.
you were 13.
Yeah.
So that puts me at 17. That's probably why I didn't give a fuck about the Spice Girls. Because I don't think I could have played a Spice Girls CD in my car in high school and been accepted.
Well, I don't think I was being accepted in my love of this. I don't think that's like how this was. I was quite the outlier often.
We
You know
all
what
know
I mean?
you were being accepted.
But so the thing about you though, Nick, is Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and
Yeah,
Britney.
NSYNC. But see, I loved NSYNC in secret. There was a part of me that was like, ha ha ha, this is a joke. And all my friends were like, oh, it's so funny that Nick has the first NSYNC CD. And then they were like, yo, why do you have the second NSYNC CD? And I'm like, it's still funny. It's so funny. Like, you legit like NSYNC. And I'm like, I fucking do. I don't give a shit.
I don't care what you say, Stu. I like it.
Oh, Stu loved NSYNC too. We used to bump that shit in his car. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe that was just maybe Spice Girls were like the gateway drug for that. And I was like, stay away from that. But then I kind of had a little bit of it, and then by the time NSYNC came around, I was like, I got to get into something, right?
They
Gotta
did a
pick side.
reunion tour
go?
about 3 years ago, and it was
Spice Girls or NSYNC?
Spice Girls.
Okay.
And I mean, I will never forget. It was one of those moments. I will honestly put it up there with when Star Wars Episode 7 was first announced. Like, because that was a day that I never thought was gonna fucking happen. And then all of a sudden they're like, George Lucas just sold Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and yes, there's gonna be another trilogy, and yeah, it's gonna be Episode 7 and 8 and 9, and it's gonna be fucking great. And my entire life blew up that day. But there was another day, and it was the day when
they announced the reunion.
the next day. I think this was actually on MySpace that they announced it. So it was a while back, but maybe it was more than a couple of years ago. But they announced they're like, the Spice Girls are going to do a reunion tour, and I was like, stop. Like, this is too perfect. San Francisco is one of the spots, technically Shoreline Amphitheater, so outside of San Francisco. But I'm like, I can get there. I can see them again. Well, for the first time. But I've thought about them for so long. And it was everything. They killed it. They fucking
And you
nailed it.
went?
Did you bring all your candy
of course.
wrappers?
Oh, that's amazing.
Not even. The candy wrappers were long fucking gone.
Was Posh Spice there?
Yeah.
They were all of them.
You
Yeah.
can't have Spice Girls without Posh Spice.
Yeah. Spice
Any
Girls
of them.
were
You need them all.
great. You do.
And that's the thing about what's interesting is how they went away and faded into obscurity. There was no
Ginger.
there was no Justin Timberlake.
Ginger tried.
She tried, but I'm saying she's not around.
You're right. She wasn't Justin Timberlake. She was a JC Chazé though.
Sure.
Like she did her
She
thing.
tried. She had
some
one
singles.
good. Yeah, she had one good single. I remember.
Yeah.
Something about her.
She went under a different name though. I forgot
Jerry
what it
Holloway.
was. Yeah, that's what it was.
That's a real name.
Her real name. Yeah.
Her real name
That was
was
her
Ginger
mistake.
Spice.
That was her mistake.
Yeah,
Probably wasn't the
idiot.
Spice.
It's like Dwayne Johnson. Just call me the Rock. Yeah.
So is that the story of the Spice Girls? They just kind of had they had the hit album, wrote it out, and was like
albums.
wrote
Were
it
there
out, and then they
multiple
were like,
albums
oh, yeah.
that did really
Yeah,
well?
yeah, there was Spice Girls and Spice World.
interesting. And then they were just
I
like,
think that's
hey,
correct.
we need to do our like it's time. We need to do our own thing. Try
Yeah,
to
I don't know.
strike
Why
out.
did they fall apart? Like, why did the band break up?
I mean,
they're
Kevin,
girls.
throw back up that Wikipedia. You took it down.
That's the
too
thing is
soon.
like, if I remember correctly, they had 3 albums and a greatest hits album.
Nice.
How do you have a greatest hits album? We've only had 2 albums.
Because every album.
There's
has
been
a couple
people that have
hits
greatest albums over one album.
That's not.
A remastered
Yeah,
edition
that's
of
fair.
our original album.
I think Rihanna did that actually.
I'm just fascinated by that because
Respect.
because it's the same thing happened with NSYNC, right? Where and everyone always had obviously JC. I thought was going to be the front runner
on.
for
All
some
right, 2008 was their reunion concert. All right, great.
Okay.
MySpace, that's right. Yeah. Makes
Man,
sense.
we got to get back on MySpace. Tim, how do
I
you feel
still
about
got
that?
my account.
Do you?
Yeah. Didn't Justin Timberlake buy MySpace?
Yeah, he's like the president and CEO of it, but you know they're not doing much of
His
that.
social
Girl
networking
Power, Spice World. The
Now
group
Kevin
became-
is hovering over Jerry Holloway.
No,
the
Kevin
hot
fell
one.
asleep about 20 minutes ago.
Why'd they break up, Kev? That's what I want to know.
Scroll down.
Yeah, go to band history.
Go to there's
All
a
right, here
part
we go.
that'll be like
Spice and Breakthrough, and then what's the other one?
Let's see.
Holloway's departure. Oh, here you go. Yeah. So Jerry Holloway leaves in '98.
Oh, Spice Girls Forever.
Spice Girls
I think that
Forever.
was their 3rd album.
That was the one.
Click on that one. There you go.
It's my favourite.
While on tour in the United States,
my
they continue
favourite.
recording new
I love it.
For Christmas.
Spice World, Christmas in Spice World.
You're doing an amazing Russell Brand right now. It's perfect. It's spot on.
He's like, all right.
Yeah, it looks like they couldn't
Dance
exist
clubs.
without Ginger Spice. That's what happened.
Ginger was the she was
She was-
linchpin, huh?
She got out of there like that guy from One Direction,
She was like one of the only
One
ones that
different
was an
direction,
actual
yeah.
Spice.
Zach.
Zach.
How's
There
that
you
guy
go.
doing? Is he doing well, Tim? The dude with the hair from One Direction that decided to leave and everyone.
Zayn? Yeah,
Zayn.
he's kind of killing it. I think actually, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I think that him and Taylor Swift just collaborated on the 50 Shades of Grey 2 theme song. That's the number
That
one
50
song.
Shades, the new trailer. What's up with the first one they had the Beyonce?
Yeah,
And now they have
some
somebody
other
else
dude.
remixing a Beyonce song. Like,
Well, it's the same song, which is great. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I like that
It's just
they're
have
sticking
Beyonce
with the
doing it.
theme to it, but like, yeah, I don't like you, whoever the fuck you are. Maybe you're Zayn. It might have been Zayn.
It might have been Zayn.
It might have been.
Man, it
I
comes
don't
full
know
circle.
though. But that trailer, best thing ever is them just at dinner and just being like, take them off. And then she just takes her panties
she's like-
off. Her knickers.
What'd you do? What'd you do if it
Takes
was the
her glasses
opposite though? And she was like, take him off. He's like, all right. He has to take his pants down first, then take his boxers off, then put his pants back on, then stuff his boxes in Grace's face.
Not mine.
Well, thank you for indulging me, guys. I just wanted to go down that memory lane for a
Here's
second.
my question for you, Tim, as the young one, the hip one. That don't do that anymore, please. Are the Spice Girls? Do we have phenomenons like that anymore? Because Spice Girls wasn't. You're talking about how young you were, but then my mom's buying the album too and really into it, right? So you have this spectrum of them being a thing. Taylor Swift, I guess, but Taylor Swift, with all due respect to Spice Girls, insanely talented and has put out now a gajillion albums.
Yeah, she's
and continues to. She's another brand similar to The Rock, right? And like One Direction, does that count?
Yes.
Susan Boyle
Subo?
is who you're talking.
What I'm saying.
I dream of dreams. That's very different though.
All right.
Susan Boyle is like that's,
Subo is a whole nother
that's like a
spectrum.
wonder. But I mean, but
It was like a year.
yeah,
You're the same fucking song.
Yeah, but I don't think they weren't like selling Susan Boyle like plushies and shit like that.
That's different. That's different. But no, I think One Direction is that. Like,
Is it?
Oh,
Okay.
definitely. One Direction is it's ridiculous.
Well, they're all
how
these
much the kids are
fabricated
into
bands,
that
right?
stuff. Yeah,
yeah. It's not like five. They were 5 best friends growing up, and we're like they always just used to call
They're-
each other
they're no
spicy.
NKOTB.
They were spicy, and then like
They're
they
no
got
New
together.
Kids.
Now they were totally. It's a totally produced band, right? Just like One Direction, just like any of those
that
fucking
shit.
boy
But
bands.
yeah, I think that Bieber is another perfect example these days of just that. where
But
it's like-
again, he's just really talented.
Yeah.
But,
That's what
at this point, though, he's kind of he's done all the shit. He's transcended. He's done the, hey, I'm talented stuff and I'm indie. Then he did the, hey, I'm the most produced thing in the entire world. Then he went into the, hey, now I'm a little bit more alternative. And now he's back into this mix of, he's transcended the music game.
Gotcha.
So, but he can just keep doing no wrong.
I'll be
I mean,
honest.
like they were a phenomenon in a way you couldn't get away from the
Yeah.
Spice Girls, where they had their own candy. And I don't know if am I missing that, or is that still happening
You
with
missing
One
it.
Direction?
I mean,
Okay.
I just think that, I think
yeah, and
'cause
I'm
One
not-
Direction absolutely has the takeover. And when you add YouTube and all that stuff, it's a different game. Sure. You know? But they have movies. You know, these guys, I don't know if One Direction has a movie. but I
Tay
would-
Zonday.
Oh, no, One Direction does have a movie.
There you go.
Well, then there's the Tay Zondays of the world.
Hello,
Chocolate
Greg.
Rain.
Thank you for having me on the show.
We tried to get him on the show once. Wouldn't
That's
return our
terrible.
emails. Dick. Nice
Really?
To us. He was nice to us at VidCon. He never responded to my emails.
I didn't know you emailed him.
Yeah. He's not a dick, though. I mean, he's
No,
just busy.
I'm sure he would do the show.
Yeah, of course.